People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Now, people, the first thing that is popping in the news is that we see that there is more twist and turn as it pertains to those 21 guns that were seized or found at the Wharf Industrial Terrace, Queen's Warehouse, as it is called. In first instance, we saw that a young lady was a person of interest. Her name, Jadian Alicia Edwards, from a Portmore address. Based on the latest information, it is said that this lady, she was interviewed and she was released. That is based on information from Deputy Commissioner of Popo in charge of crime, Mr. Fitzbailey. Latest update is that two other suspects, two other persons of interest are now in the custody of the Popo as it relates to those 21 guns. Based on what Mr. Fitzbailey is saying, they are major players in the smuggling game, meaning gun trafficking game. Now, as it pertains to Miss Jadian Alicia Edwards, don't know the relation, don't know how she became a person of interest, don't know if it is because she was a person that inquired about those boxes, packages, barrels before, so persons became suspicious based on some sort of CCTV video. However, people, whatever capacity that she is linked, when the Popo said that she was interviewed and released, there should be reasons for concern. So people, me just say, if this lady gave information as it pertains to these persons who are now in custody, the Popo might want to think or rethink and have this lady in protective custody, meaning that her life might be in jeopardy. And people like me say, I don't know what relationship or what link she have to the two persons that got arrested or got picked up. Now people, the next thing that we realize is that a lot of times we see these guns come into Jamaica. We hear about the big fines in Jamaica, big seizures at the wharf, seaport. However, it seems as if this is mostly swept under the rug because not too often do we hear any sorts of update as it pertains to anybody after being charged, case go to court, they get convicted. And people, I am not saying that they are not isolated incidents. However, I am just saying that based on the amount of cases that we've heard, incidents that we've heard at each of the wharves or the wharves in Jamaica, Kingston or Montego Bay, we should be getting more result. We should be getting more conviction. Now people, like me say, based on what Fitzbailey is saying, these two persons in custody are major players in the trafficking or the smuggling of guns in Jamaica. Now people, if you remember, there were two persons also arrested in the latest gun fine in Montego Bay. So we see say, two in Kingston, two in Montego Bay. Did not get any sorts of follow-up as it pertains to Montego Bay. They did not say that these two persons were major players in the trafficking or smuggling of any sorts of tool. However, what I do realize is that most of the times, the consistent thing is that there is always two persons named that are receivers. So people, obviously, we see say, more than likely these smugglers overseas, they are thinking ahead of the game. They must say, listen, we know that the two people that we have on these invoice as receivers, recipients, them kind of live some sort of foul lifestyle. So therefore, just in case something happens to one of them, at least the next one can go pick it up. So therefore, just in case one of them lose their life or go missing for whatever reasons, the next person can pick it up. Now people, maybe that is just an option that is on these shippers package that, listen, you can put at least 2 or 3 persons. Don't really know. Maybe that is the case. Now people, what we also realize is that most of these persons that are involved in the smuggling of these tools, they are not any sorts of small fish. They are not any sorts of broke pocket people. They are big time drug dealers, big time hustlers, big time scammer, big time drugs thief. So therefore, it is nothing for them to acquire these black market tools, because obviously we see most of these tools are not being bought at the legitimate gun dealerships in America. Most of these are coming in the illicit drug trade, meaning that the people when I smoke, them carry it to the dealer and them exchange it for some sorts of drugs. That dealer then in turn turns it over on the black market. And obviously, if you're in the game, you have access to everything. Money moves mountain in a real life. In the dope game, in the drugs game, it even moves it even faster, quicker. You have access to any and everything. Anything that is available, you can get at half the price, quarter of the price, or even less than that, because when people basically want them fixed, they will sell their mother. So people may just say, it is not as hard. Maybe we look at it and we say, Lord, 21 tool. However, people, the truth and the fact is that if you're in the game, if you're a hustler, whether you sell weed, whether you sell cocoa, these things comes a dime a dozen. So therefore, it is nothing for these people to pack up some boxes, pack up some barrel, put all sorts of food item and then hide it or disguise it in these barrels and send down to Jamaica. Once they have the participants that are willing and able to sign their name on the dotted line and say, yes, this package is for me. Now people, what makes these cases so difficult is the fact that when these people are held, because the court cannot say specifically, yeah, them know say a tool in it. What these people are going to say is that, well, somebody has sent me some sort of food item, somebody has sent me some sorts of appliance. I did not know. I had no sorts of idea that some sorts of tool was disguising it. So people, you see the type of cat and mouse game that they are playing. So unless, of course, the relevant authority, meaning the feds overseas, have some sorts of conversation, tape conversation, voice note, it is going to be hard to prove in court that yes, these people are indeed involved in XYZ. So therefore, that is why I say a sting operation is very important. And when I say a sting operation, I mean that this operation has to go through to the full distance, meaning that whenever customs realize any sorts of abnormalities in these packages and them call the POPO, they need to put some sorts of tracking, some sort of surveillance on these, and wait until these people actually pick up these packages, and wait until these packages actually reach some sort of destination. However, people, it gets very complicated, because if these packages are allowed to get in the hands of the people that really want them or need them or actually smuggle them, and then the POPO are slow, there could be some sorts of war, because people, what you don't want is these people to have these high-powered rifles, have these magazines, have these ammunitions, and then they are going back and forth with the POPO that more than likely have less powerful, less lethal weapon than them. So people, I understand where the POPO are trying to be cautious. However, people, like me say, if you prepare with the SWAT team, then you can basically have the upper hand. If you don't allow them to basically get these, put them together as soon as them reach the destination, meaning the house, because based on the information, it is said that these 21 tools were destined for a place called Moko in a Clarendon. So people may just say. Now, the next thing, like I said before, the POPO realize that, listen, there has to be a reason why persons are sending tool on a regular basis in a Jamaica. That means that there has to be some sorts of corrupted customs officer, corrupted POPO, people who are getting their hands greased, people who are taking all sorts of bribery and letting things go. So therefore, they think that, listen, once we have these tools, at least we get these 21 tools off of the street. However, people, these 21 tools could lead to the mastermind. Me I talk about the big fish them that are involved. However, people, the truth and the fact is that like the saying goes, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bushes. So therefore, if the popo are questioning the honesty and the loyalty of these officers or these customs officers, and they are not built in the art of crime fighting strategy, they are not going to take any sorts of chances. They are going to say, let's pounce on these 21 guns. Let's see who is the receiver. Let's see how we can tackle it or get to the bottom of this or get to the mastermind of this by holding the persons who are the receiver and hoping that they will squeal. However, people, one thing that we've realized about these new millennial gunmen is that they are some yes men. It seems as if they are almost afraid of these people. They are scared for their life because the truth and the fact is that a lot of the times, the mastermind, they know these people family, them know them mama, them know them granny. So therefore, they know if they even talk. So therefore, it seems as if these persons are willing to take the fall. And that is why these top drug dealers overseas continue to do the same thing over and over, because every day them can catch a new fool who are willing to do this for a couple of thousands of dollars, who are willing to take the fall, who are willing to go to jail and do some X amount of time for these people. So people, these people always keep their hands clean. So people, me just say, most of the times, the receivers and the person that is sending these barrels, sending these tools, they are not the persons who are benefiting most. They are just pawns. They are just used. They are just manipulated. So therefore, whenever anything goes down, they either end up missing, meaning DEAD, or they remain mute. Unless, of course, they are overseas and say, people can kind of put a clamp on them, make them know, say, listen, if you get time, the fact that you're not a U.S. citizen, you will be deported. Then they are more inclined to talk. However, as it pertains to Jamaica, them I go just use a Shaggy song, it wasn't me. I don't know exactly what was in that package. So therefore, people, that is why these cases are hard to crack. That is why these cases are hard to convict. Point blank and period. So people, at the end of the day, it only shows you that these people, it is all about money. Money is always the motive. So therefore, these new youths, these new millennials nowadays, they have zero conscience. They have zero respect for anybody's property, anybody's life. They have zero respect for people in general. So therefore, they do whatever it takes to survive. It is all about survival. So therefore, that is why they do exactly what they do. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like I say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.